to AutoSave. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Nick Andrade.
How you doing, Cam? I haven't seen you in a while, and I'm happy to be back.
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that I get to say your name with that emphasis and make it all comedic-like, because we like to bring comedy here on our podcast. No, we are not a comedy podcast.
No, so yeah, don't false advertise.
That may be false advertisement, but I do think we sometimes have funny moments because we dive into the video games you love or you were curious about because a lot of people were talking about it. We do the deep dives for you or alongside you, chapter by chapter. We go through the missions. We're kind of like a book club, but for video games and cooler and funnier.
We are. We dive in, I think, more in depth than most podcasts, right? No, most video game podcasts give reviews of games that they play. We go again, like you said, chapter by chapter, and we normally don't miss much because anything that annoys us or we think is funny, we always mention.
Yeah, and one of those games that I think we really dived through is Final Fantasy VII Remake. We both fans of Final Fantasy VII knew that we wanted to cover that game. It's one of the first games that we did, and guess what, Nick?
What?
It's making a comeback. We are re-listening to our playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, there is another one.
I was like, because there is another one, but we'll talk about that later. And really, I think the reason why is because we are hyped for the next one, Rebirth, but also like it just gave a really, really good environment to explore and make your own. One of my favorite places, the gym. I made that my own in Final Fantasy VII Remake because I don't go to the gym in real life.
I think that's the crazy thing about Remake is it's not only action-packed. You do real-life stuff. You get hand massages. You get to go to the gym. And I don't want to spoil too much else if you haven't listened to it, but all over the place. This game is literally all over the place.
Yeah, you play darts. I'm kind of concerned that you started off with hand massages, but we'll take that for another episode.
You'll know why. If you haven't listened, you'll know why I did.
All right, we'll leave it at that. But Nick, like I said, that is building the hype for the sequel to that game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which, you know what, we can't just do the first game and not play through the second one. So we're going to be playing that here right after that re-listen of the first game comes out. How excited are you? From like a hype scale from 1 to 10, how hyped are you for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth?
I didn't know what to expect. I think I saw the last trailer recently that was a minute long, and it was jam-packed with stuff. I honestly don't know what to expect at all because the first game, I think, took us for a spin where we don't necessarily know what's going to happen in this game. But there are a lot of new characters that I'm really excited to see that are staples in the Final Fantasy genre. And again, I don't know what to expect, but this is probably my most hyped game of 2024. We're both fans of this series. Again, the first one we thought was one of the best games we played on this podcast. And this next one, I think, is going to go even further into our, top 10 maybe of all time. I don't know.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to all the new characters as well, Vincent Valentine, but I'm also looking forward to the very mundane things that you're going to have to do. I'm hoping that visiting Chocobo Farm, because I really hope that they make a whole simulation of caring for animals. I want to brush the chocobo. I want to pet the chocobo. I want to feed the chocobo. I want to I was going to say something else. I was. Do
we also get to go to the gold saucer? There. I really want to go to the gold saucer.
I would think so. I actually am curious about your piano skills because that piano mini game looks pretty intense.
I'm going to play Dearly Beloved from the Kingdom Hearts game. That's what I'm going to play on the piano. Again, what is this game? Why is there pianos? We don't know. Is the honeybee going to be back in there where we get to do dance moves? I just want to do everything possible.
And we will do everything possible because, like I said, we're diving into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth right after re-listening to Final Fantasy VII Remake. So we're giving you a double hitter that is coming to you every Tuesday. New episodes. Listen right here on AutoSave Pod. You could follow us on X at AutoSave Podcast, as well as on Instagram and TikTok, AutoSave Pod. Got any thoughts on what your favorite minigame is going to be going into maybe Rebirth, or what was your favorite mini game for Remake? Let us know in our Discord. That's the Autosave Discord, where we chat more with the community. So stay tuned for next Tuesday when we have the first episode of the re-listen for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then on April 30th, that's when we start our deep dive for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And you won't want to miss it. And also, that's a few days away from my birthday, so it's kind of like a birthday present. Enjoy!
AutoSave.